Hello everyone, my name's FlareBlitz here and welcome back to Feather of Prey. What I'm going to be doing is covering the normal ending 2 and true endings using this clip, and then obviously I'll be doing another introduction for the hidden ending of the game, which actually is influenced by the pollution of the game. Actually, all three of these endings, after you get the normal ending, are affected by pollution. Particularly the hidden ending, and you want to be at a 100% pollution, which also means 0% sanity. So, in the second playthrough of the game, there are only really two differences aside to the endings themselves when it comes to the normal playthrough, and that's just in two different locations. Number one I'm going to show you right now, and then a number one I'm going to show after this one. So you want to acquaint yourself with Bayou and obviously choose to accept his help. But when it comes to the normal and true endings, you want to get as little amount of pollution as possible. And there are places in the game, well, a large number of them in fact, where they're not mandatory to progress through the game, they're just optional. And I'll show you all those locations in a separate video, obviously, of the hidden ending. But what I'm going to show you right now are the two main differences of the game, which I've already said. I'm silly. Right, so this wasn't here before, this kind of subspace, however you want to call it. What happened? Bayou, why'd you stop? Changed? What do you mean by changed? You know I came from here, right? Yeah, so it is. There's no other way. However, the room is not the same room from where I came from. What? The room has changed? Is that your misconception? I hope so. No, what's wrong with here? I shall back to home. What? I want to go back home. Don't worry, Jacques, calm down. Worriness is nothing useful for getting out. We should be calm in mind after all. I got it. Take a deep breath. We will find a way out. Check here to find a clue first. And obviously this door will be locked or L-coked. And this says, you are safe when standing still. So you know these enemies that are just floating around here? They can't hurt you if you're stationary. They can only hurt you when you move about throughout the game. So there's that little blob there. We want to go down here. And then there are faster ones and slow ones. So you've got to be mindful of which way they're going. But this is chance based, obviously, because they could just swarm you. And there we go. Not allow you to move. But if you know the route to take in much later on in the game, when you have to be Bayou in that poisonous floor section where you have to kind of go around and then up here, then you don't have to worry about your health as much as you do here. But every hit does cost you 10, and there's only one enemy in here which will attack you even if you're standing still. So just be mindful of that. And you know which one it is because it's bloody visible 24/7. Okay, and scooters. So we only got hit once, and it doesn't make a difference if you clear through that route without being hit, because obviously I've already done this already because I wanted to see how to actually get these endings in the first place. So you continue through the game as per normal. There are no other changes until you see in just a sec. This is the next area that is different from the first playthrough. The main difference is you can see a ladder which goes down somewhere, don't you think? But this is basically, hold on, let me show you something first. This door originally wasn't locked, but now it is locked, so we need to find a key somewheres, and the key isn't here. We have to go in down here to get to where we need to go. Bloodstained Deep Well, Bloodstained Cross, and the visuals have gone red. You still have time to escape. Are you sure about that? And yes, I am aware that my sanity is very, very low, but don't worry, I have another save file with a playthrough of getting the lowest amount of sanity loss as possible, or mind pollution as it would be called. So I want to go through here, and then you come across this lovely little place where you get a cross key. And then from there, obviously go back to where you came from, hopefully avoiding the enemies like I'm doing right now, hopefully. And then we shall be on our merry way. Our lovely merry way. You can't scare me with duplicates of myself with a shadow casting over my eyes. That's just not going to happen. Nothing will change my mind anyways. So, with all that being said and done, you can unlock the door now using the cross key, and everything else will proceed as normal. So, see you within a second. Okay, I'm here, and as you can see, my mind bar is only at 79%, but that's good because that means that the normal ending 2 and the true endings are open to us. So now what we need to do is we actually need to backtrack back to the library. Loneliness is heavy again. Cool. We understand this room has changed. The collectors and the collector's items are no longer there. What's changing up in this realm? Nothing is interesting if alone. Nope, nothing is interesting when you are on your own. Which is not good at all, is it now? So backtrack all the way to the library. Just proceed through the entire game without clicking on any optional events that allows the pollution levels to increase. And that just means mental pollution, spiritual pollution, however you want to pronounce it. It's important that with the normal ending and the true ending, you have as minimal amount of pollution or mental pollution as possible. I believe that 85% is the maximum before you diverge into the hidden ending of the game, which obviously I will show in another video. So what you're seeing right now is either the normal ending 2 or true ending, and then the video in between, so part 6 will be the hidden ending, just because I like to end on the true ending. Why? Why what? And who's speaking to me? Oh, you. Why do you back here? I don't know why, I just like to be here, you know. It's a nice place, the library is. Xiaokui Part 1. The girl walks on the road of travel lonely, running in bumpy roads filled with pain and sadness. She feels tired, but she never stops. She feels pain, but she can't run away. The girl with no friends holds her toy bear, crouching in the corner, hearing adults lying one by one. She does not need lying. She does not need consolation too. She cried in the corner by herself. Lonely. What's interesting though is that these books, I believe, cover the memories that Xiaokui has throughout the game, but there's only 2 books. And obviously we experience 3 different memories, so how do we fathom that one out? The girl finds her world in the shadow of pain. Recollecting her memories, stitching them all up. I'm 90% sure it's 3 different memories, not 2. Let's see, one about her loneliness, and then another one of meeting the bird. Okay, maybe it's just 2. Recollecting her memories, stitching them all up. Light wind flew beside her face, tears in her eyes are sympathetic. She does not need understanding, she doesn't need commiseration too. She found her heart under the tree with Wayne. Wayne is obviously what we refer to as Bayou. Hi, older sister. Why do you leave your partner and come here alone? After all, you think that the books are more reliant than man come from nowhere, don't you? So it is. You don't believe him? No, I am not. You always run away from reality into books, from your early age. I am not running away. Are you still cleaning? Chai canning? Ah, you still don't know the fundamental reason you like reading tales. The stories and tales are all created. Other stories. aren't they? You always hide yourself into stories because your real life is not good. You have no friends, no father, so you read tales about friendship or family, enjoying the tales in main characters' view, finding the friendship and family that you lack. After all, you are just running away from reality. You say you like to read them. You are just taking them as tools running away. How hollow. No, it isn't. Stop this nonsense pretending you know me a lot. Then why'd you come here? Bayou was trapped, and I came here for something that could help. Nothing else. I will not leave him alone and run away. Oh, really? Then let me tell you one thing. He is not real. This is not the real world. It is called Grey Fairyland. Grey Fairyland? Yes. As you can see, this fairyland is filled with traps. It is a grim world that is filled with terror. Your life will probably be safe, but your mind will be polluted until the end. It's too bad. But why am I here? It is nobody else but Bayou that brought you here. What? Bayou? Brought me here, Fairyland? Sure, he knows everything from the beginning, but he hasn't told you yet, has he? I will not leave you alone. Move together. Saying these for covering the truth. Don't you know? He even didn't tell you his true name, and you follow him like a fool. And it's time for you to see clearly. Shut up. Poking my pain and provoking me. Don't you know? I hate you most. I will not doubt Bayou whatever happens. You said Bayou knows everything? Yeah? Then, do you know that Bayou is not strong in mind as you're imagining? He seems to be calm, but he is also anxious, shaking. I know that all. What? It is Bayou that protected me, encouraging me. I have lost myself if without him. He helped me out from despair, giving me belief. Picked apples for me just because I said I'm hungry. Staying with me even when I was sleeping, smiling to me when I woke up, laughing with me when I was laughing, feeling sad when I was frustrated. If you always doubt others, then who on earth can be believed? Naive. No, it is you that is naive. You really think that I will doubt him from your nonsense? Oh, by the way, it doesn't matter. Even betrayed. Why? I was unfortunate in my childhood. I was not only capricious but also ill. Other children crowded me out. Adults discriminated me too. I didn't feel warmth for long. I was almost crazed and anxious when myself here. I'm not going to try and pronounce that out loud without making it sound very disgusting. Okay, Bayou accepted me. He accepted the capricious, anxious me. What's more, he is always comforting me, giving me life and encouragement many times when I was in perplexity. Adventuring, laughing with me, giving me warmth I never felt before. Thanks to him, I was happy. And now I have no more regrets. Probably I was already collapsed and dead now if I didn't meet him. He saved me, so if he did take it back, it doesn't matter. Science enveloped the library for a while. Interesting. Your relationship is deeper than I thought. To be honest, I wonder what happens next. Well, I didn't finish my goal, so I'll retreat now. Show me the power of your relationship. Friendship, you mean? There is no ships going on here. The ships will never sail because there are no ships to sail. Staying in the fairyland without any friend. How pity that girl. How I pity that girl. Now is not the time to be standing and doing nothing. Bayou is still waiting for me. Check the library and back quickly. Yes, check the library and back quickly, why not? A piece of newspaper. Read it? Absolutely. A car accident happened in Center Park in K-City in 2015. So it happened in October of 2015. A female high school student was injured and was sent to hospital, but she is unconscious until now. No more text is readable. Ah, but that was the text that was unreadable. But now it is readable. And there's a new book here. Prayer Realizer. Read it, yes. I realize prayers all over the world. I am called Angel, Deaf, and Prayer Realizer. Most. I can make a grey fairyland with prayer and something, which is what I can and only thing do. Part 1. Read it, yes. Grey fairyland is created by prayer. It will draw everyone related to it. However, they must pay cost. What's more, to urge them pay the cost early, the fairyland will even pressure them. It will read the memories of prayers and make traps. Many prayers pay the cost in this way. Some prayers' minds even collapse, swallowed and assimilated by fairyland. That's probably what happened to the library girl and all the other souls which are encapsulated here as hanging corpses. I wanted to realize that prayer, but am I correct? I ask myself many times, looking at failed prayers. Yeah, those hanging corpses are the failed prayers. Damn it. I do not like hair stuck on my glasses. Thank you very much. And also, reading these 3 books is also necessary to get to the second normal ending and the true ending. Is the fairyland thinking that the souls are delicious or something? Grey fairyland should draw people in mind collapsing. Even some ghost girls are trying to attack prayers in heart. Those are probably the failed prayers. And these traps, or they could just be monsters placed by the prayers, because it is said that doing a prayer also casts traps upon the place. But the logic behind of how these traps are actually represented in this fairyland for the prayers to work is another mystery. Like, what's the purpose behind the traps? Are the prayers... The prayers have to have some sort of sacrifice to them for them to actually work. Otherwise, this fairyland isn't entirely a magical place. Wouldn't work otherwise without some sort of payment. And this payment is the risk of being a failed prayer. And these traps that use to urge prayers to pay the cost is polluted. To protect them from these, and also the failed prayers are ones which are totally polluted. To protect them from these, I sent paper to them, which is what I can only do. The fairyland seems not to be glad with what I have done, bending wrong hints to them, trying to make prayers do not believe me. Even so, I try to lead prayers. I think I have duty to do so. Well, I'm not a bad guy anyway. I hope to see them in happiness. Grey fairyland is created by prayer? That girl said I was drawn here by Bayou, which means he prayed for me? Have I met him before? No. I have no ideas about it. Back to Bayou early. What do you mean by early? There's nothing early about going back to him whilst wandering the library. But of course, we cannot achieve the second normal ending or the true ending without, and I say this right now, without reading those books, without interacting with that library girl again, and if reading those books also increases our mind back to 100%. Maybe talking to the library girl, in fact, this time around actually purges any sort of impurity that we have, because we're at the state of purity where we're not actually going to doubt the actions that Bayou has. But of course we'll always have questions for him, because obviously that is the aim of this prospect, which is to uncover the truth and also escape from the library, or escape from this place rather. But we can't escape this place without knowing the truth, and also the methods and means to be able to escape. And Bayou has the answers, of course, as you saw within the first normal ending, which is because of that. Now, there is one difference between the normal ending 2 and the true ending, and it's to do with the feathers. And it's, if you use a feather, then you're locked into normal ending 2. But if you don't use a feather, then you have the option of either the true ending or normal ending 2 at the last corridor section where you have those 6 doors. But there's also a candle there as well, which I'll show you in a minute, which allows you to see what ending you are going to acquire, because you can actually save there. But here's the thing, if you use a feather whilst in that room, could it change from true ending to normal ending 2? But obviously we'll put them in different save files so that the so that the options of either endings are not locked into one. So that would be, in this case, normal ending 2, because you need to do the action of using a feather, and what happens is, to get the true ending, you cannot use a single feather. A small number lock on the door. Okay, so this is randomized. It will give you a random set of words, and obviously you need to remember the different combinations from the beginning, but the words will be randomized. So it could be the ones originally from the beginning, so that was this one, so you enter 1, 2, 1, 8, 5. The other ones I don't know, because I did not actually write down the different combination sets that you could like piece together. I've only got the one that begins with H. There's one that begins with S, and I believe there's another one that begins with Y as well. Cool. Now we see the starry sky, but this is not going to be any different. Look at the moon outside the window, I thought. An unfortunate girl with purple eyes cried in her bed also in this night. Wind figures her loneliness, which is stealing my soul. She always pretends that open-minded. Okay. Holding her books. But also, another way to minimize the amount of pollution you get is that you need to achieve the achievement on like the Steam page of this game called Prophecy, I believe it is. And what it is that you need to avoid getting the toy dog and just simply following the path that it would usually make. And that will minimize the amount of pollution you get, because you don't have to interact with the phone, you don't have to hide from the mistress that comes out, you don't have to do anything that resembles that particular section of the game. And also, interacting with the phone is mandatory, but that also increases your pollution. But I think in this case, since our pollution level is 0 and our sort of spiritual level is 100%, that doesn't really matter. We've already read through all this. You can check out the normal ending 1 video, or sorry, the normal ending video, obviously, if you want to see me read all of this. But this is just some downtime to say that I do like this game, but I think it takes a little bit too much inspiration from The Witch's House, because it takes kind of like the book's prospect of The Witch's House, but doesn't actually copy them, but just has it in its own little way. Like with the different story parts of Xiaokui, but doesn't take it to an extent where it has, well, if you interact with a lot of deaths in the game, then obviously it will give you more entries, I believe. But we can only discover 2 parts of Xiaokui's story, and the stories are obviously in relation to the memories that you see when like a portrait comes around. Okay, so we've got that. We don't need to look at these blank papers, which obviously only Bayou can see, because what we see is a blank page, but the reaction of Bayou is different because Bayou can see what it's read out as. So this is where the normal ending 2 and true ending videos will diverge. If you're watching this variation, which I am recording in the future just after recording the hidden ending, which you can find in the previous video of this Let's Play of Feather Brain, I think it So, when we go up to this candle, we should be able to see true ending will be achieved if we are on this path right now. And you can only get the true ending, which I think I've already said, if you do not use a feather throughout the course of the game. This is very important. Otherwise we will go to normal ending 2, which is not what we want right now. We do want to save the game though. We do want that. We do want that. So, we've collected 21 feathers in total. It doesn't matter how many feathers you collect. That's what I want to emphasize. It doesn't matter how many you collect, just don't use any. That's the thing. We don't want to use whatever spiritual things that the feathers provide. So, this room again. Cool, we reached the end of the hallway. No more way to move on. Yeah. We haven't found a way out after such a long way. What to do? Will we be trapped here forever? No, it can't be, Xiaokui. I already knew the answer. Really? Ah, really. We have a way out of here from the beginning. That is... another one of these. The third time I've seen this. It's a really painful seeing this tale, actually. Mystery voice can be heard in the heavy snow. Any prayer can be realized if a cost is paid. Is that true? Any prayer can be realized if it is true. I pray that she could recover after that car accident. Her eyes will become black as others, no longer suffering from discrimination. Free her from the fate. As the cost, I will pay my life, my soul, everything. But before which, could you give me a chance to meet her the last time? I want to free her warm in my end. Let me see her smile for the last time. Let me have a look at her happy future. This is my prayer. This is the final outcome. This is the only canonical way. Please tell me. By you, is this the ending I have been expecting? This will not be the ending that you expect, because I believe that both of you will get out of this alive. Ah, by you. Why? Xiaokui tries to cover the wound. No, you hurt so much. The blood is running out. You won't... Why? Why'd you do this suddenly? Why do you cry again? You are not beautiful when you are crying, Xiaokui. You will be back to real world with your body healthy. You should be more cheerful. Real world? You mean here? Sorry, I didn't tell you before. This is a world that come from my prayer, Grey Fairyland, and the only way to leave here is to pay the cost, my death. You didn't remember that. You was involved in a car accident 3 days ago in the park. Books and blood scattering on the ground. And you have been unconscious until now. Not to say you are dying. It is ridiculous, the fate. From your early age, you were crowded out and spent your childhood in fear and loneliness. You was not given happiness. What is worse, your father passed away before you were growing up. Therefore, you've been crawling in bitterness and pain. When you finally accepted all of these, and overcame these hardships, that accident happened to you. You are so kind. You haven't done a single bad thing. Why? Why is it that you face these? I have always been looking at these all. To help you out of the unfair fate, I pray with my life. I brought you here, Grey Fairyland. And that is all that happened to you. Why? Why do you know so much about me? Of course I know everything about you. Everything about Xiaokui. What? Because I was helped in that cold winter. I am that bird. Wing. Baiyu is only a figure in this space. Wing? Are you Wing? Sure. I remember everything. Your smile in that park. Your crying in bed at nights. I know more than anyone. Wayne, why have you done so much for me? The reason is simple, isn't it? My life, in some way, is given by you. My feathers was injured when I was young. I couldn't fly. Other birds laughed at me, for I can't fly with them. And I was envy when looking at them in the air. Envy, yearning, crying. I don't know why I can't fly like them. Probably I was lowly from the beginning. I'm still thinking that means lonely. Then in a cold winter I was hit by a snowball thrown by kids and fell down. I was cold and dying. At that time you picked me up. It's my first time to feel warm. First time to enjoy my life. You gave me another chance to live. I finally found the meaning of life. Therefore, and now, exchange mine with yours. Isn't that by nature? Wing, please. We must have another way. Another way. Ah. Xiaokui? I pray. I was expecting a third option. I pray we will live continually. Grey Fairyland is created by prayer. Ween will recover and be back to real world. As cost, I will pray my life, my soul, and everything. It takes cost and realize the prayers. Realize my prayers, Fairyland. I'm starting to think this will lead to normal ending 2 and we should just give up. But what are you doing? This Fairyland is created by prayer, so it would realize mine as well, won't it? That's crazy. Our prayers and costs are conflict with each other. The Fairyland will crash and we will both die here. I know. Then withdraw your prayer. At least you will be back safe. I can't lose you. You are my first and only friend. You are my colour in my grey childhood. Being with me in that painful time. You did everything for me, protecting me, giving me hope and confidence. I can't give you up, but you will. Enough. I will be with you whatever happens. I decide it. Xiaokui. Tears rolling off Ween's face. I am glad to hear your prayer. Though I didn't expect that. I'm really happy. Stop crying. Xiaokui wraps Ween tightly, just as usual. I didn't know you carried so much. Sorry. You suffered a lot here. Yeah. Thank you, Ween. Now I am here. I will never leave you alone. And never, make you pain, make you lonely. Xiaokui, I can't save it in the end. Sorry. It's okay, it doesn't matter. For me, all is needed is to be with you. Let's face our end. I will never leave you, whatever happens. Forever, everlastingly. Where did the feathers come into play with this? I still don't think this is still the normal ending. It's a long ago story. A kind girl in a poor family. She was ill, and everyone is afraid of her. No one wants to be friends with her. She was always pitiful and lonely. Just at that moment, a boy appeared. He accepted everything of she playing together. She often plays with him, telling him tales to him. They spend day after day in peaceful life. However, one day that life was broken. The girl was involved in a car accident and never woke up again. He was sad when hearing that news. He tried to wake the girl but failed. It is that time that the devil showed up to wake her. The boy prayed with his life. The devil realized his prayer, giving him a chance to meet for the last time. Finally, they meet again in the fairyland. However, his figure was changed and he could not be recognized by the girl. He was sad but still faced her with a smile. Talking, laughing in the fairyland, burning his last life in happiness with the girl. Until the girl knows everything, but the boy was already in the blood. The girl was crying, holding the boy. Despair, heartache, regret, recalling the days spent with the boy. Complex emotions are felt, everything was too late. In the end, the girl prayed too, just in contrast with the boys, to save the boy with her life. The fairyland crushes for both prayers. They hold together in the chaos. Slowly, white light engulfed everything. And then, the miracle appears. Illuminating feathers in the fairyland form into white stairs. The boy and girl goes upstairs, onto the stairs. No one knows where they have gone to, but they must be happy because their hands were not loosened and they will never be separated again. They must have a happy ending, just like Tails. I believe so. So that was the right answer, but it's just a bit misleading. Ah ha ha ha. They both returned to the real world. Hot sunshine on me, bug sounds can be heard. The sun is just like a fireball burning earth. Hot wind flies over my face. I close the book. It's really hot this summer. Wiping sweat, I think. Looking at surrounding. There's no one in the park. Yeah, no one wants to bear that hotness. Well, probably I shouldn't go outside today. Looking at the sky, I complain. Strong sunshine makes my eyes can't full open. The hot air makes me breathe hardly. It's not enjoyment, but I don't feel so bad, because I know this is the evidence. But I am living, trying to have a deep breath, fresh air in my chest. To live is really splendid. Close my eyes, recalling the memories. I am Q Xiaokui, a normal high school student. I was involved in a car accident last fall and recovered in this summer. I could be back to school in a few days. I am now sitting on the bench in the park with Ween. I have been reading books in the park when I have time since I was young, and today nothing changes. Enjoying another afternoon in my little world. Huh. I yawn in warm sunshine. We spend much time outside, Ween. Let's go home now. Are you sleeping? I pet Wing, putting my book on the bench. Wing became closer than before to me, staying with me all the time, sleeping on my shoulder. It's really a wayward bird. By the way, Wing prayed for me when I was in hospital, drawing me to a strange fairyland, protecting me all the time. Then, I pray in a contrast with his prayer, and the fairyland crushes. Everything is destroyed, sorry. And when I woke up again, I found myself in the hospital. Did that really happen? Or was it just a dream? I don't know. But for me, it is a memory like a tale. I remember it, in heart, everlastingly. Everything doesn't matter now. Everything that happened doesn't matter. From now on, I will lead my normal life with Wing. Nothing has changed, but for me it's colourful. Golden sunshine falls onto the ground, covering ground with gold. Wing flies, green leaves dancing in the wind. Changing seasons, waving the memories, warm times. Pick up the scraps of memory, keep my heart well in normal days. And that tale is the best gift for this season. I pray this splendid time will continue forever. I pray to the sky. I pray to the endless space around us. I pray for a better tomorrow. So that, folks, is Feather of Praying. I really enjoyed this game. I think it could be even better still if the translation was thoroughly looked over. Nearly every sentence has something in it which could be improved and tweaked in terms of its wording. I bet the Chinese version of a game would make sense in the Chinese language, but in terms... Okay, this is my first time to make a survival horror puzzle game. Hope you enjoy this game. Follow us in Weibo official website to acquire more information probably. Thanks for playing. So yeah, this is the developer's first time playing it. Developing the game, and I appreciate the efforts that the developers put in to make true end. No, isn't that pretty? That's real pretty. That's real pretty. So I appreciate all the efforts. Okay, true end tale is achieved. Special episode can be selected in the beginning of the game. Special episode, okay. Please select a scenario of special so this is just like the bonus room or the post-game scenario or behind the scene. Congratulations to you for finishing Feather of Praying. Played the game twice or more and finally true end. Thanks for your playing. Well, there's too many puzzle RPG Maker games, so to make the game more interesting, psychological puzzles and more figures are added in the game. Have you enjoyed? We will be glad for your enjoying. If you have something to say, just visit our website or leave a message in Steam pages. By the way, if you have any good, what was that called? Prose or tale? Good praise or tale, just tell us. I like them most. Xiao Kui, what are you doing? We are having afternoon tea, waiting for you. Blue Water Vale, come here in hurry. Oh, I almost forgot it. 1 minute. Oh, isn't that glad? Is everyone here? I don't know if these two other people. One with a headset and a blonde girl. Seems to be. It could be Xiao Kui's parents. Oh, no. The amazing X-Brain is the translator of the game, and the other person must be the developer? Sorry, I forgot this. Some tea, Xiao Kui. Well, I think I'd better not have it now. Why? For I am the main character of the game. through many traps and watching those disgusting things. Scared, dead and polluted in spirit. Now I'll just consider about if the cup will be broken in the next second. Thanks to author. Today's weather is good. So it is. So, why did you turn heads? Probably the weather is so good that lots of texts are lots of texts are waiting to be translated, isn't it? Jacques, stop teasing them. This is a survival horror puzzle game after all. But I died for many times. Well, forgive you because the ending is acceptable. Wait, are you speaking to me? How dare you? Speaking of the ending, why Wayne is still a bird? Many players wanted to be human being. Why don't make a perfect ending if it is the true ending? Because the true ending is not a perfect ending. The true ending is one that mostly fits with what the past has entailed to be what it is now. So, if the events of the past transpire into something that is fitting for what is now, so for example this case where the prayers of both Xiaoqui and Baiyu along with No Feathers used created a scenario, then therefore the perfect ending is not possible. Only the true ending is possible because it is the one canonical ending. The others are like, imagine a timeline here and the straight line is where the true ending goes. Anything other is a divergence point. So the normal ending 1 is one divergence point, normal ending 2 is another divergence point, bad ending 1 is something far earlier in another divergence point, and then obviously the hidden ending has its own divergence point. And what these divergence points are they're points where they could split off from what could be called the canonical route, what is true, what is the one true thing that will always happen. Well, I had that plan, but I also thought there's nothing perfect. There we go. If we only make it perfect, it would be irresponsible to players. A true end is necessary to be perfect, but it should be acceptable. Yeah. In the true ending, both of them live as before, but they treasure each other and the life more. This situation is not the best, but if I am happy, this is it. They can accept everything with a smile. This is my true ending, a warm and plentifulness life. So you can skip the entire thing about me saying that they're Xiaoqui's parents. But then again, they could be Xiaoqui's parents in a way, because one of them developed the game, and then the other one translated the game. That's a reason. Well, if you ask me, why can't the ending be perfect? Having the perfect ending without any pity in our story isn't a good thing. We have enough pities in the real world. Yes, we do. Too true. In my opinion, I can accept all ending, no matter what it is. Players did hard work to reach an ending. I'm satisfied enough telling our story. Me too. I also learned a lot during painting figures and custom graphics. I also learned one thing or two during translation. Is that right? When playing, making or translating, we are all learning. Indeed we do. I can't wait for the next story. By the way, when can we play your new game? Well, that depends when I have an idea of something. Who is Blue Autumn? If I have one, I will do that immediately. Will I become a new character in your game? I will try my best. Now our first primary is to have a perfect outcome of Feather of Praying. And after all, we can do this with help from players who encouraged us. The rest time is for players. Players, I have prepared some data for players. Just enjoy. Well, just like bonus rooms. So it is. Please help yourself. Okay. Making process. So the 12th of October 2015 began to make the game alone. And then 3 days after was make a game in 3 days, it's impressive. Released a demo version, then Meet Yuxi, incorporated redesigned characters, then began to test the game on the 2nd of November. 16th of December, an ending was made. The game was expanded on the 7th of January. Then 19 days after that, the game was finished. Then a week later, no, 5 days after, or 6 days if it was a leap year. No, 2016. No, 2016 was a leap year, so it would be 6 days afterwards. The game was available. 21st of October, English edition is available. The thing is, I didn't know about the English translation of this game until, like, well, just before my first video of the game, actually. Original characters. In the beginning, Yuxi didn't take part in art, so characters are made by tools. Figures of both characters originally. The purple of Zhao Kui and the silver hair of Wayne is the symbol of them. This is the original title screen. In the beginning, the girl had a theme of flashlight girl and a white guard bird, and it was changed after redesigning the characters. And the prayer is added in title, therefore title CG is painted by this. About the story. The story was from a tale I heard when I was a child, which can't be remembered clearly. Told the story of an animal that was helped by an ill child stay with the child until the girl's death. When I grew up, I can't find that tale anywhere, including the internet. But it's not a famous story, I think. Even so, I was still impressed by that tale, and it was forgotten little by little when I grew up, facing the stress of studying. There are many things we forget because of studying. Many things are sacrificed when studying, including our sanity. I didn't know how to make a game or have an opinion to make a game of this until I entered college. Well, I had much time in college after all. Same here, friend. And then I began to write scenario and changed it little by little, finally make it happen. It contains 10 more pages. This is a photo of one page. I made the game listing to background music, therefore I can make the atmosphere better. Now the scenario is useless, but I still keep it, reminding my time of making games. It's all written in Chinese, so if you are able to translate that, then please do so for yourself. And obviously there are little errors and stuff. Literally, notes about making something are never going to look perfect if you're going to show them to someone. There's always going to be scratchings out. There's always going to be like a rediversion. There's always going to be diversions. There's always going to be like a date by each note, a set point, a backtrack, a something. It's going to have so many things included in it. Not just words, not just dates, but lots of reschedulings, lots of retypes, lots of stuff like that. That's what makes a notebook fascinating. It's seeing everything, not just the finished product, not just something that you would expect to be perfect, but it's something that's desirable, something that's like a treasure. About English edition, well, I saw some players are asking for an English edition of this game, and I know one thing or two of English, so I did it. I don't think I am that good at English, sorry for the bad translations. It's acceptable. I can understand what the game is trying to give to me, as in the story, and what it's trying to convey to me as a message. It can be better, but I would say this is not the worst translated game. There are a few other games which I've played in my spare time which are far worse than this, so I would say it does need looking over. I would suggest contacting somebody who is fluent in English, not me, but because I don't understand RPG Maker. But contact someone who understands English, or didn't someone email? I think someone did email you about this, and I'm not too sure. It's somewhere in the Steam comments. If you find a grammatical or semantic mistake of English translation, or have something to be translated into Chinese, please send an email to that or tweet at AmazingXBrain. Cool. So you, Wing, the main character. No, Zhao Kui was the main character. This is like a secondary main character. A bird that was helped by Zhao Kui in the winter. Prayed with his life and drew Zhao Kui into the fairyland after the car accident. Cautious, strong in mind and kind. Always comforting and encouraging Zhao Kui. By the way, the kind type of a bird is not given in the game. You decide. Change it to a figure. Meh. How do... Oh, we can just change it to bees then. Xiaokui, the protagonist of Feather of Prey, suffered exclusion and discrimination because of her illness, had few friends, kind but capricious. Like to read... I would say that name needs to be changed, because I don't think that actually... Anyways, like to read books and tales under trees each year. A representation of loneliness. Actually, we all have our own loneliness. Xiaokui represents we in hollow, and Whitebird is our true friend who is with us. Well, the story is created according to a child's tale, so the character is just as pure as tales. So it might make some players unhappy. I'm not unhappy. The good and bad times are what makes up a story. You know, a fairy tale isn't just consisted of good things, you know. It's consisted of good things and bad things. But merge those together, and we have a story. But what she represents and her place will not be changed. Xiaokui is Xiaokui, a kind girl who always likes to read books in the park. Yeah, I'll be her. I'll look at a butterfly last. A painter and cartoonist. All artworks are done by her. Good job, Bear. Beautiful. Unusual engagement is her masterpiece. Her interest is to draw. Biggest dream is that her works are liked by more people. I like them. Her words. Thanks for liking and supporting me. I didn't expect so many fans, and I will do my best next. Now I'll keep a Xiaokui. Blue Autumn, a video game streamer and a game maker. Oh, I haven't heard of you before. The designer of this game and the CV of Prayer Realizer. An elegant person who likes to play video games, doing video game streams, animes, and playing the piano. Sometimes upload his video on playing the piano. Make a game from his ideas that come from nowhere. Probably he will make more videos with Yuxi if he wants to. Nope. Ah, and the translator. Please notice a dot in the end of his name. Not that good at English, but to make the game available to more players, decided to translate this game into English. Hey, you did it first, so congrats. You translated this game into English, and that's an accomplishment in itself. We want to have more people like you who are willing to step forward and translate some of these Chinese-only games that are on Steam into English, because I really want to play them. But I can if I can't understand what they're saying, because obviously in Chinese I'm able to understand this more, because it's in English. But if you read it and it doesn't make sense, then people who are fluent in English, such as myself, because English is my only language, we can kind of dissect, pull it apart, and put words into it that makes it sound like it has more sense. Now he's picking up both English and Japanese, preparing to be a postgraduate. Congrats. Because translation work is much later, 2018, the game was done in 2016, so he has no figure in the game and chooses a butterfly in RPG Maker VX8. If you find a grammatical or semantic mistake of English translation, obviously there. Oh yeah, change it to a butterfly, that's amusing. Effects. What? What do you mean by effects? Bright candle. Switch. Pull it. Ah. Got an oil lamp. Got a flashlight. And everything goes back to this shiny thing. I was hoping there would have been a save point for this. Challenge. What do you mean by challenge? Oh, this again? No rewards in the end of the room. Please do not be addictive of this room. No, but why? Why can I not? Oh. Oh, I see why this is what you would call a challenge, because there's more enemies to avoid. This is purgatory, not a challenge. Oh, sheesh. Now, that's what you would call silly. Musics. No, standing on purple floors to enjoy music. Please record the game listening to music. Oh, sheesh. Okay. Don't proceed over the purple tiles too quickly, because too many events transpire. No, not that one. That's a scary one. Okay, just don't go through the game too quickly. That's the premise. Leave now. You are leaving now? Well, we have little in this room. To be honest, I still want to play for more time. Everyone will have a feel of that in this situation, won't they? We have many shortcomings and the game has not too many things. Most players will delete the game directly. I won't. So it is. This is the fate most RPG Maker games face. However, our dream finally comes true, isn't it? What? To fight against fate with best friends. We suffered a lot and met much troubles. But we finally overcame them mischief, arguments and disappointment. Is it about our dreams? For me, it is. Our dream? Our story is known by players. I have no pity now. My prayer is realized. Nothing more is needed for me. This is really the end of the game, and for most players it is the last time we meet. So it is. Stop crying and smile in the end, right? Okay. Thank you for playing the game anyway. If new games are created, probably I'll have a chance to meet you. I can't wait. And I will be happy. Forever. Everlastingly. Nah. Prayer and happiness achievement unlocked. Even if the game will one day be deleted, it means we will not be changing our hearts. It's a continuation of our dream. Thank you for playing our dream. Whatever you do, reading the text or just skipping it, we all hope you had and will have a good time in real life. Just as what we wanted to tell you, we will be harmed by fate, but we will also face it with courage. When life gives you lemon, please keep strong in mind, for happiness will come again. Seasons will change, just as our heart and emotion. Just fill yourself with the sunshine in autumn, enjoy it. And those stories are the best gift from autumn. And to record the stories and share them with you is always my only and my strongest prayer. This whole game being an entire anatomy for what the developer wanted was to create an experience worth a miracle, a pray for, essentially. There was another option though, like white something, wasn't there? At the beginning. Yeah, hold on. Pick a prayer. Special episode. White start. Clock is ticking in quiet room. I didn't expect this to be this long. Are you? What? Where am I? The boy looks at surroundings hurriedly. Is there Grey Fairyland? Yes. And who are you? Welcome to Grey Fairyland. Who are you? A ghost in this fairyland. I do not harm to you, but we are different existences. By the way, let me repeat your prayer. Let Xiao Kui recover, right? Yeah, but she is in danger now, which means you must pay a cost. I have already known that. Prayer realize I told you, then go on. That must be the girl from the library. And I should prepare too. Many preparation. The girl disappeared. Oh dear me. Human anatomy picture. Toys. I didn't expect this to go on for this long. All that's inside is condiment or something that is useless. Useless. And we can't read. Oh, a clean envelope? I was expecting context in there. Remember to bring the note. I am waiting for you. You misses the note? No, that's not the note. Is it? A light toy bear. Oh. Okay. Shall that prayer be realized? Will that fate be rewrited? How strange. Who left it here? For words disappear. I am a prayer realizer, and this is what I left. Prayer realizer? Yes, the only thing I can do with Fairyland is leaving paper. You have 3 choices now. You can pay the cost now, then the prey will be realized immediately. Xiao Kui will recover and back to the real world, but this will wipe out all other possibilities. Will never pay the cost. You and Xiao Kui will be trapped here forever. You could be with her everlastingly, but neither of you will be saved. You can also explore and find another possibility, which however is not always safe. I will help you no matter which choice you choose. Help me? I cannot change the fairyland now, but I will send paper to you. Sending paper? For what? Hint to the traps, it will enlighten you. Enlighten? Yes, enlighten. Sound of a knocking door can be heard, which is obviously our friend. That's it. What is it this time? Are you okay? That is how our friend got there in the first place. So he went into a room which obviously Xiao Kui never even encountered, because it's kind of like the pre-domain place which Baiyu came from before bashing into Xiao Kui. But thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been a wonderful game, and as I said, if it was translated betterly, if you would call it, I'm not doubting the translator's ability of translating ability of translating games, then I would say that if it was translated so that the grammar mistakes weren't there, then this would be an even better game. So there's a good game, but it would be even better if the translation was better. And I should speak better so that I can actually match my my words that I'm saying. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for watching, guys. This is the end of Feather of Praying. Whatever developer will come up next, I'm quite excited to see. And hopefully we'll be see each other in the future of another game made by the same developer as this game. But for now, folks, thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves.